Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Mahouka Koukou no Rettousei season 3 episode number 5 reaction. So the previous episode we had the little mock battle against Shippo and the Saigusa sisters, and then immediately after that we had the battle between Tatsuya and Range Zero. Now obviously the whole thing happened because like Shippo and the Saigusa sisters had a little bit of a like a little bicker between them. Obviously, Shippo was like, they were like, all right, let's do like a match. So the Saigusa sisters and Shippo, both of their battles kind of went overboard. That is why it had like implications of like where like Shippo won't be able to handle his power, control his power, and might accidentally injure the two sisters. So that is why they stopped it. And in the end, he was throwing a tantrum. So Range Zero came and showed them the difference in power and told him that he needs to control it. And then Tatsuya had the battle with Range Zero because Range Zero wanted to do the battle. And we saw like Range Zero is extremely talented, but obviously this is Tatsuya. He was able to, by the end of it, he was able to defeat him. And they had like a friendly match. And seeing this, Shippo realized where he is and how much of a difference in level there are against him and the seniors. So later on, he had a conversation with what was her name? Kazumi. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, and she was like, let's just do our best. Like nothing we can do about it. There's extreme difference, but they went to that position because of their hard work. So we have to also do the same if we want to catch up to them. And that's where it ended. So yeah, and also there was like a little scene, I think, like where Aunt Maya was like, she had a plan how to make sure that Tatsuya never goes against us. And the plan had something to do with Miyuki, because obviously Tatsuya is loyal to Miyuki. So if she's able to bind Miyuki to the Yosubas by making her like the head, then Tatsuya won't be able to leave and go against the Yosubas. That's her plan. So let's see what happens in today's episode. Yeah, let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. The ninth laboratory in our prefecture. Parasite drop prototype. Huh. What is this guy doing? Okay. Autonomous. Oh, what is that? Damn. Hold back their magical power. Oh my god. Right. Grandfather. Who's this? Oh, wait. Have I seen this dude? I feel like I've seen him before. I've forgotten, maybe. Minoru. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. From turning magicians into weapons. Ah, so he was. Oh my God, that's why. Okay, right. So he's a lot like Tatsuya, I would say, because of Tatsuya's situation and how he was also like, like was a result of experimentation and stuff. Like we know what has happened to him in his past. Okay. Okay, I don't think I've seen him before. I probably mistook his face for some other character. Because for a moment I thought like I've seen his face before. Somewhere. Oh, here in the opening I've seen him. Okay, I think. Hmm. Okay. Wow. Oh my god. Damn, winning this year again. Oh, what happened? Hello? Uh, did it not go well? Yes. Yeah. Oh, because they need to add that thing. Like like the first scene in the episode. Okay. Proud ball. Oh, these three have been removed. You want Gunner Shooter? There you go. Steeplechase cross country. Yeah, it's like the name itself seems quite high level. Open to all second and third year students. Ah. Oh, interesting. Hmm. Yeah. I think they added like changed three events so that it doesn't become suspicious. If they only change one, it'll be suspicious. Pair up and snipe. Okay. Shield down. Destroying or seizing your opponent's shield. Ah, okay. This one, steeplechase. Military drill. Oh, damn. Wow. Automatic turret. Ah. I guess, yeah. Yeah, because it's open for like both the classes and that yeah, yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. Yep, indeed. Mm. Mm. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. Like they'll be like, oh, like they're colluding with the military and all that again. Oh boy, new character. Hiromi Saiki. Hmm. Well, we know why. Whether we would have a hand. Hmm. Hmm. Independent magic equipment. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Well, all players take part, not just who represent. Damn, that is crazy. Yeah, he's doing that. Okay. Younger sister. Oh. Okay. Fujibashi. Hmm. Okay, here we go. Yep, the parasite weapons. Yeah. Oh wow, the yellow turban man. Yeah. Yeah. And they're using them as like guinea pigs, I guess you could say. Not guinea pigs, but as experimental. Well, because oh, bruh, damn. Right. Damn. It's like he's literally using like the strategy, military strategy, like not killing the, like the enemy, but injuring them so that it takes more trouble to carry them back and like treat them. Oh boy. Nakura. Pause. Basic. Hmm. Tone down the campaign. Okay. Oh. Hmm. Thought control. Oh, that's what was happening. God damn. Hmm. Hmm. Oh boy. Yeah, it's a bit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Good God. Uh. She realized. Yep. Oh, she's here. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Yo, the difference in expression of on each on the characters. She's pissed. Oh boy. Well, yeah, she's yeah. Shiba Senpai and Shiba Senpai because both of them obviously. Yeah. Oh Lord. Yeah. Oh no, Miyuki's. Uh. Yeah. Ooh. Well, got you there. Okay. Well, yeah, she's a bit hot-headed. You're not. Oh my God. Uh, Here we go. Joke. This doused proves yourself. Hmm. Hmm. Recreation of the yellow turtle. Yeah. Oh my god. This is a trap. Yeah, like I say, this is a whole trap because this is how they want to. Well, like that's the plan. They're going to plant these people here. Oh, good God. He's taking things in his hands. Oh boy, but oh God. Yeah, this is gonna go bad. Taking some defectives from the grid. Yeah, there you go. Those three are going to interfere with it. Rampage spell created for the power. Well, because hostess are exempt. Her two sisters will be fine. And Mayumi has graduated, so you know. Oh boy. No, new ending. Okay. transition. Hmm. And there you go. That was today's episode. Right. Okay. So this basically was the preparation episode. Like we get to know what's going to happen. They kind of prepare the whole field as to what's going to go down from here onwards. So basically, the main thing of this episode was that they are going to be, what's his name? I've always forget his name. The guy, um, the what? Let me check. I need to find his name out. Um, yeah, this guy, Kudo Retsu. That's his name. Yeah, former head of the Kudo family, who was one of. Okay, yeah. So this guy, Kudo Retsu. Wait, so that guy who is? Wait a minute. Let me check. Oh, that guy was his son. The other dude who was like, oh, don't let this note, don't let the predecessor know about this. He's his son, Kudo Makoto. Okay, I see. Right. Yeah, that was kind of confusing. I was like, obviously they're related. It's pretty obvious. Just look at their faces. But I wasn't 100% sure who he was. So okay, so he's his son. Okay, and that guy, he's the one. What was his name? The one who was like bedridden. I think he's his grandson. That must mean that he's his grandson, isn't it? Yeah, because he called him grandfather. Yeah, there you go. So right, Minoru, that's his name. Yeah. Okay. So what's basically happening is that Kudo, he, like the predecessor, I think Kudo Retsuya, he is planning on like testing out the whole parasite dolls, and to do that, he's planning on doing that in the this nine, what was it called, the nine school competitions, yeah, in there. And to do that, they will be planting these like robotic, like android kind of things with the parasite in them, and try to that make them participate in the nine schools competition. Also, the what they're how they're going to do it is they're going to introduce a few new sports in there, one being the steeplechase, that thing that they're going to introduce in it. And I'm guessing they've introduced three, maybe because they wanted to not draw attention to that particular one, because if she only introduced one new change, that only the steeple, like that one, if he introduced that steeplechase, then it'll be pretty obvious. People will be like kind of be focused on that, and maybe that's why, to throw off the the attention, he changed three of them and introduced three new, and all of them are like military based, because obviously, again, to throw off the attention from the steeplechase, because if they only introduce steeplechase, which is like a military based training, and the other two was something normal, everyone obviously will be placing attention on the steeplechase, and they'll be like, oh, that's weird, they only introduced one military, like what's up with that, so maybe that's why they used they introduced three military based, because otherwise, so that people are not focusing on one particular one, something like that. Maybe, I'm not really sure, but either way, that is his plan. That's how he's planning on testing them, and yeah, that's what he's trying to do. Also, while all of this is happening, this guy, I'm always forgetting his name, the Joe, this guy, or that's how his name is pronounced. He and his master, obviously, they came up with another plan, which plan is to have come in contact with the like a lot of things are going on here. So it's a bit like like complicated. So their plan is basically planting their three people, the recreation of the yellow turban, and those three will be the ones who will interfere with the parasites, make them go berserk, and their plan is not to like kill the students but injure them, you know something like that. And I guess it kind of makes it, it's like like that whole military thing where your enemy tries to, like, if there's like a lot of like people and you're like in a big disadvantage, they try to not kill the enemy but injure them, so that your allies, their allies, they have to take them and carry them to safety, you know and treat them. If they kill the enemy, it's over, that's it. But if you injure them, it's like a huge like thing for their allies, because obviously, number one, like their mental situation goes extremely down over there, the morale goes down. Not only that, they have to carry them, which is another big burden. And then also like the mental stress, it like if you know the person who is in front of you almost dying, you'll be mentally stressed out. So for that reason, obviously, like a lot of military strategies is like, oh, don't kill the enemy, injure them. That will like bring them down, that will make them even more burden, and we can take that, make that, take that opportunity to do more damage to them. And so that's basically what they're doing here. They're like, don't kill the students, injure them, so that it makes it makes it even it becomes even worse. Like it's going to be, yeah, like a lot of more trouble than they are hoping for. So that is their plan, this guy. So what they did is they came in contact with this guy, the son of the Kudo, group, that guy. And he tells him that, okay, where is that part? He kind of contacts him, and he like tells him that, oh, this is I want to I want you to take in these three members from our place, like these refugees. And that whole thing. And he's keeping that a secret from his dad. He like broke the records and everything, the all that stuff, to not keep any evidence. So obviously that's going to become, because he kind of said something like, oh, if they try to act smart, I can annihilate them. But I doubt that's going to go that easy. But either way, that's what's happening over there. So the big guy, what was his name? Kudo Retsu. He doesn't he knows that the whole parasite thing is going to happen. He doesn't know about this. So he's oblivious about this thing, this whole situation. While all of this is happening, we have the Saigusa, who obviously is, Mayumi's dad, who got informed about this, and they came into an alliance with this group, and now they know this is going to happen, and they're like, oh, let's keep quiet about this, because he has his own plans and everything. Also, the fact that the first years won't be involved in this, which means his two daughters will be fine. Only second year and the third years will be involved, and Mayumi has graduated. So his family members will be okay. They won't be involved in this whole thing. So it's like, why should I care about other people's families? Like that. And he's like, now let's, let's just let's see how this goes. And he is thinking of his own plans. So it's just that's why I'm saying this is a bit a lot of things are happening. Like conspiracy on top of conspiracy. And the other, one group is trying to use something, and the other group is trying to butt in and trying to manipulate that thing. And then there's another group who's just sitting down and being like, oh, let's watch the show and enjoy it, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's crazy. Also, another thing, isn't a yellow turban let me just check, I'm pretty sure yellow turban is they in China, I think they had the, here we go, Yellow Turban Rebellion. The Yellow Turban Rebellion, or the Yellow Scarves Rebellion, was a peasant revolt during the late Eastern Han Dynasty of ancient China. Uprising broke in during the reign of Empire Ling, although the main rebellion was suppressed. The rebellion, which got its name from the color of the rebel headwear, there you go, marked an important point of history in Taoism due to the rebel leaders' association with the secret Taoist societies. Yeah, so basically that, and that's why they're calling it the recreation of the yellow turbans. Uh, yeah, and this revolt was also used as the opening event in 14th century's historical novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Yeah, so yeah, I recognize the name. I was like, yeah, I remember this being an actual thing. So yeah, there you go. All right, and that's the situation here. Like that's like the important parts, like the very, like, like the ones that are going to move the story forward. And this is basically like a like an introductory chapter, I guess you could say, to whatever's going to happen from here onwards. You know. Oh, also another thing is like the military is also obviously, like, like the Kazama, and this and the new girl that was introduced, the new lady. Both of them were having their own conversations and talking about this whole situation, and they're like, you need to, you need to be like stationed there and keep an eye on the whole thing, and that's also happening. So like literally everyone is involved in this situation. We have the Kudos doing the main thing, the whole parasite thing. Then we have this group who are trying to mess with it. Then we have the Saigusas literally just sitting and watching the show. And then we have the military obviously concerned about this whole situation. Yeah, so that's basically the summary of what's happening. Right. So yeah. Again, let me know if I misunderstood something, because this show is, yeah, there's a lot of things that sometimes goes over my head, but I think I was able to understand this episode, properly, the essence of it properly. Okay, and then obviously other than that, there's all the other, like slice of life bits. For example, like Miyuki goes with Tatsuya shopping, and then they meet Mayumi over there, and they had a little bit of a, like Tatsuya, like what's his name, Kazumi. Yeah, Kazumi was a bit, going overboard, at which Tatsuya kind of clapped back. Right. And yeah, so basically that was today's episode. So yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, and now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene we get to see these two. Yeah, this is where they introduce them. There's a lot of things happening on the screen, so I think I missed this part, where Makoto Kudo and Retsu Kudo, former head, and he, like Makoto Kudo is the current head, obviously, and we know that he's his dad, basically. They literally look the same, except Retsu's eyes are like completely dark, that whole thing. Anyways, so yeah, we see them in front of like those parasite dolls, and they're like oh, we have 16 parasite dolls prototypes in hand, and they're planning on kind of introducing them in the 9 schools competition. Okay, so the researcher says, thanks to the effect of the loyalty programming spell that we applied, the parasites are now in complete hibernation inside the gynoids. Should you order it, we can conduct an actual combat test at any time. At which Retsu's like, it is too soon for a combat test. There hasn't been enough tasting yet to enable them to act autonomously. And he's like, oh, because that is why the combat test. And he's like, did you know that the steeplechase cross country has been added as an event at this year's 9 school? Oh wait, so this was already introduced. Okay, never mind. I thought that they introduced. Okay, never mind. Okay, scratch all of that. I thought they're the ones who introduced it, and that's why, to like camouflage the whole thing, they introduced 2 other military bases so that they don't like put their attention on this one in particular. Okay, no, so this was already okay. And he's like, so you're going to test the parasite dolls over there, right? Okay, if we use the loyalty programming spell to hold back their magical power, we won't have to worry about inflicting serious damage to the students. It will be most opportune time to conduct the first trial. Now here we go. Now we understand why he's doing that. At first I was like, why is he doing this? But then when I saw Minoru, I think, and when he said like, oh, like with this, I hope that magicians are replaced by like these robotic stuff, like these robotic things, so that like cases like Minoru never happen. So that is why he's doing this. He's planning on completely or at least partially eradicating the whole magicians, like like doing these dangerous stuff by putting like autonomous, like like beings like this, like the parasite, like dolls and everything. And because obviously he probably like he doesn't like the fact or regrets the fact that Minoru was like, we still don't know what's up with Minoru, but he kind of heavily hinted that like it was like some kind of a something, like a like some kind of a test or something went with, like kind of like maybe Tatsuya, like his situation maybe is kind of like Tatsuya's situation, while Tatsuya's like not really that much affected by it, except his whole emotions doesn't exist. That's the only like like effect that Tatsuya has gotten. Emotion doesn't exist except Miyuki's, except the only emotion is for Miyuki. That's the only thing that he has, and that is why like that was the result of the whole experimentation and everything. However, maybe Minoru's situation is not like that, but he has a lot of power, as like his grandfather said that you're unparalleled. But maybe the problem with him is that he is always sick. Unlike Tatsuya, whose problem is that he doesn't have any emotions, his problem or his side effect of that power that he got was that he's sick all the time or something like that, maybe. So it's something like that, I'm guessing. Either way, he wants so that in the future that never happens. That's why he's trying to introduce like this Kudo Retsu. He's trying to introduce all of these and test out the parasites in in a situation like this. Anyways, and after that we get to see Minoru is there, and Retsu comes in and he's like, oh, how are you? And he's like coughing and everything, and he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And he kind of talks about a lot of other things, at which Minoru's like, oh, I would have loved to participate in the 9 schools competition, at which he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like your power is unparalleled, you know it, and there's a lot of other ways you can test your skills out. He says you're intelligent too, there'll be all kind of opportunities for you, don't worry about it. And he like he's like, okay, goodbye, leaves the room. And while leaving the room, this is where he says, we must stop them from turning magicians into weapons. There you go. We mustn't produce any more children like Minoru. There you go. And that is why he's trying to do this, like trying to automate like the whole, like, and replace the magicians with these type of things. Right. It makes sense why he's doing all of this. Okay. Now after that, we go to the like to Tatsuya's whole situation. So Tatsuya and Miyuki are talking about the 9 schools competition, and they're talking about how the student council president is doing all the research and everything on all the different schools, and she's like gung-ho about winning this, but then when they go in, they see that she's just sprawled on the table, and she's like, oh my god, this is not going to work. Why? Because 3 new competitions have been added. So okay, which ones are the one? Okay, so they're removing speed shooting, okay, crowd ball, and battleboard. These have been removed, and they have added, okay, wait a minute, they've added rower and gunner, shield down, and steeplechase cross country. So these 3. That's just like, oh, interesting, these are all like military based, like like stuff. These aren't really for high school students, especially steeplechase cross countries. Yeah, and the thing with steeplechase cross country is like 2nd year and 3rd year both are like will be able to go in, male, female. There's no barriers, everyone will do it, and that's like obviously like it's like a huge military based thing, so it makes sense. But at the same time, it's a bit dangerous, isn't it? Especially for students for undergoing stuff like that. And he's like, oh my god, what is the comedy thinking, this and that. Okay. So that says that we need to think up of a sound strategy. Okay, later we get to see Tatsuya talking to his friends, and he talks about the whole situation, tells them like, oh, this is what's happening. They've added rower and gunner. So basically rower and gunner is very simple. It's just like the name. Okay, so Rover and a gunner pair up, snipe their target while operating a same boat. Simple? Yeah. Then we have shield down. So fight with shields, either destroying or seizing your opponent's shield, or else hurling them outside the ring to win. So you either destroy the shield, grab the shield and take it for yourself, or throw them out of the ring. Simple. And then we have the third one, steeplechase cross country. Type of military drill used by infantries all over the world for mountain and forest training. Damn. Like running an obstacle course over a cross-country route. For the obstacles, there'll be automatic turrets, magical obstruction, all that stuff. So Erika's like, oh my god, that sounds fun, but yeah. What's her name? I forgot. I always forget her name. The glasses girl. Her name is very similar to Tatsuya's name. Like, not Tatsuya's name, but Shiba. I think Shibata, that's her name, isn't it? Something like that. She's like, oh, like that seems like, dangerous. Yeah, so up until now, there hasn't been any type of competition where we'll be confronting the player directly. So the problematic one is steeplechase cross country. Obviously, like we need a guide, experienced guide, and all that stuff. Okay, so yeah, Leon says that why are all of these militaristic in nature? Like, what is happening, especially at a time like this? Okay, probably because of the Yokohama incident. What happened that day drove home the usefulness of magicians to those in the JDF. We saw what happened, like the way that whole thing. That's why they're trying to give that kind of an education a boost. Okay. So this is exactly what the anti-magician media has been agitated about. And in this time like this, when this is happening, it's a bad timing. Okay. Okay, next we get to the JDF, JGDF, 101st Brigade Major General Hiromi Saiki. This character, she's introduced, and we have Kazama as well in front of them. So she's talking about the 9 school competitions, official announcement, all that stuff. She says the Missions Association, which hosts the 9 school competition, met the JDF request with the most perfectionary resistance. Okay, wait. This is a line of a military training. Missions Associations hosts the 9 school competition, made the JDF's request with the most perfunctory resistance. So he didn't offer any resistance. Yeah, like talking about Kudo Retsu. Obviously, she's like, no, she didn't, resist against it. In fact, he pushed for it. She says that. And he asked that whether we would have a hand in running this year's competition or not. Inquiry not an order. Okay, that's correct. That said, we will need to consider the reason why he brought this to him. Okay, all that stuff. Okay, higher-ups must finally be waking up to the danger of depending on the 10 master clans. And she's like, I intend to respond affirmatively to this inquiry, but I won't be using the independent magic equipped battalion. I'm ordering your battalion to stand by throughout the 9 school competition. So there you go. This is how Kazama will be there, in case, yeah. So, okay, it was not only his, and she says like she's not only opposed to the lineup change, but he pushed for it. He showed an especially keen interest in a steeplechase cross country event, like that whole thing she brings up. And obviously Kazama's like, what the hell? Like, it's weird. It looks like His Excellency has been long vocal about ending the uses of magician as weapons. We know why. We've seen, Minoru and everything. Has deserted his own cause. But we know what's happening underneath, why he's doing this. We know why, But knowing him as we do, it can't possibly be that simple. There you go. She's like, yeah, it's a bit weird. We know him very, as much as we know him, I don't think he's the type of person who's just going to leave his cause and just suddenly start pushing this. Why is he doing this? There must be something else going on. It's not that simple. Right. So there must be something behind all of this. Okay, this part I need to read. One more thing. In case of steeplechase event, considering that the younger sister of the head of Kudo family, younger sister of the head, oh my god, what is younger sister of the head of the Kudo family? That is the, like that guy. What is his name? Makoto or something? Kudo? Like Retsu's son. Youngest sister of the, so his sister, so okay, so his daughter, so Retsu's daughter, okay, youngest sister of the head of the Kudo family and the head of Fujibayashi family are married. Wait. Oh my god, I need to wait a minute. So oh, wait a minute, I need to understand this. Okay, Fujibayashi Kyoko is his granddaughter? No. No, wait, what is that? Okay, wait. No, Fujibayashi, okay, wait. Fujibayashi Kyoko is the, oh god. Okay, one more thing. Considering that the younger sister of the head of the Kudo family, that means the daughter of Retsu, I think. Wait a minute. Yeah, the daughter of Retsu is, okay, daughter. This is a bit complicated. And then, okay, wait a minute. Younger sister of the head of the Kudo family, okay, and the head of the Fujibayashi family. Head of the Fujibayashi family. Who is the head of Fujibayashi family? Fujibayashi family's head. Okay, apparently someone, I'm guessing. Oh, so I was so confused why they showed her, this girl, this lady. What's her name? Fujibayashi Kyoko. Because we've seen her so many times, before. I didn't really know her family, who it was, and all that. I was so confused. I was like, wait, she's married or something? Like what? But they showed her because they were trying to mean her family. I understand that now. It's not her, but her family. Okay, so that's why I was so confused. I was like, when did she get married? Or she was married up until now and I didn't know that? So no, not her. They're not talking about her. They're talking about the head of their family. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Let me read that again now. Younger sister of the head of the Kudo family. Okay, that means Kudo Retsu's daughter. And the head of the Fujibayashi family. So her family's head, that girl, the girl that we know, the girl in the military. Her family's head, both of them are married. Okay, I see. Okay, I understand now. Good God, this show has so many characters and so many of them are interconnected. It's crazy to remember. Like, my God. Okay, it would seem as though the two families are in sync and have some kind of scheme in works. Okay, so that's why she's like, we need to keep an eye on that as well. That's why, you have to stand by Kazama. And she's like, yes. Wanted to prepare to mobilize while also keeping an eye out for any move that Lunda and Fujibayashi makes. So there you go. So that's also another thing. Right. All that aside, then we meet Koki. And he is talking to that guy. And he's like, oh, I've heard that the Japanese military will be conducting an experiment and all that. And he's like, all right, let's mess with it. So what we do is, he says, okay, where's that part where he says that? Here we go. I've come up with a spell to cause the parasites to go berserk. So what we do is that apply that to the P weapons. And how we do that is, okay, here we go. We don't need to leave them unscathed. Neither is there a reason to kill them. We have to injure them, weaken the military, Japanese military. Robbing them of the magical ability should suffice. So yeah, basically just making them, surviving as an incompetent would be worse than dying here. Fate than dying here. There you go. So it's like not kill them, but just take out their power, because we know that's literally what the parasites do. And they're trying to make it go berserk, so it robs the people who will be there of their magical energy. Okay, there you go. Right, and so how they're going to do that is like, so we get to see him talking with this dude who I guess he's like the butler of the Saigusa family or something like that, I think. So he's like talking to him and he's like, oh, please sit down, this and that. And he then tells him, or comes to an alliance with him, Mr. Nakura, that's his name. My boss would like to foster a friendship with your boss. And Mr. Saigusa has accepted it. He says that. And he's like, oh, that's fantastic. Great. So we've already advised you of our basic conditions. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We never do anything to put Mr. Saigusa at a disadvantage. Nor do we have any common interests with the Great Asian Alliance. There you go. What about manipulation of the mass media? And he's like, oh, we'll take care of that. Don't worry about it. Taken measures to get them to tone that down. Right? Targeting all the magicians. Okay, so he's like, then let's go into more details. There you go. So there's that. They made like an alliance, the Saigusas and this. And here we go. Now we are back to this place and we can see that, so Tatsuya, or I guess Taurus Silver, because both of them, both Tatsuya and that guy, both of them make Taurus Silver. Both of them has come up with a new technology, I'm guessing. Like, so here, they're testing it out, and Tatsuya uses his, I forgot the name of the technique that he uses to see the waves and the, like the scions and all that. He uses that and sees that the necklace, it is glowing and it goes and goes into the CAD, and that is how I'm guessing it's like working, like the whole thought thing that he says. Here we go. This is what Miyuki says. Congratulations on finishing your total thought control CAD. Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what it's called. Right. So that says like, oh, it's over quite quickly. Let's go out, and have a little fun. If we want to go somewhere. So Miyuki's like, oh, Miyuki's very happy, obviously. So she's off there buying like some dresses in this shopping mall. And, like Miyuki went into change, and Tatsuya's like, okay, let me just move from here. It's a bit weird. It's like all in front of the changing room, as a, male in front of the female changing room. Nope. He's like, okay, let me just move. But then he bumps into Kasumi, and Kasumi's like, oh, what are you doing here? And Isumi's like, wait a minute, you're here. And she sees like he's like having like the dress and everything, and like carrying them. She's like, oh, is Miyuki senpai here? And Tatsuya kind of realizes immediately. Tatsuya's like, wait a minute, these two are here, that must mean. And as soon as he thinks that, Mayumi comes out literally in front of him from the changing room, and she's like, what the hell? Gets embarrassed, and there you go. And then they're like having tea together, and I love this scene where all the characters have different expressions. Izumi is just, obviously like Miyuki's here, so Izumi's just looking at her and just blushing and everything. Kazumi's pissed because Tatsuya, was there, and Mayumi's embarrassed. Okay, anyways, and they're like talking about the whole situation, and Tatsuya's like, I'm sorry, and Mayumi's like, oh no, don't worry about it, also my fault, all that stuff. Okay, anyways, so Izumi's like, oh, you can I join you, Miss Miyuki, Miyuki senpai, after this? Miyuki's like, yeah, sure, but Mayumi's like, oh, don't intrude in their family time and all that. Here is when Kazumi gets pissed. She's like, oh, you shouldn't interrupt Mr. Shiba's date with Miss Miyuki. I feel like it's more funny like the way she says that, because here they use like the last name of Tatsuya and the first name of Miyuki, but what she says is Shiba Senpai and Shiba Senpai. I don't know why, it's a bit funnier like that. I don't know. Okay, where is it? Shiba Senpai to Shiba Senpai. Because obviously both of them are Shiba. And she's like, oh, don't disrupt their date. And Mime is like, wait, what? And Tassa's like, come on, it's not that. Like, what are you on about? Miyuki is happy about that, obviously. And she's like, oh, a male high school student shopping with another female high school student, just the two of them. That is what it's called, Tassa's like, if a male high school student is the older brother and a female high school student is a younger sister, I don't think the logic applies. Oh my god. And she's like, well, I think siblings going on dates with each other is just too unproductive. Miyuki is pissed at this statement. You can see her face twitching a little bit. Izumi's like, stop it, Kasumi. Like, what are you doing? Here we go. Competent magicians have a duty to leave behind the next generation. So Mr. Shiba, is your sister who you're going to... Okay, so obviously me realized where his sister is going with this, and Mime is like, what the hell are you... And okay, here we go. And this is where Tasha claps back. She's like, oh, is that your logic? Like siblings spending time together is unproductive. So why are you guys spending time together? Isn't that as unproductive as me? What we are doing? By the same token, isn't it unproductive to be spending time off with your sister? And obviously, like, what was she on about? Like, she didn't think that logic literally applies to her as well. Like, if you're using a statement as an argument, like some kind of you should make sure that you also don't fall in the same category, or what you're doing is not the same thing. You're literally going out with your sisters and you're talking about other family siblings and calling it unproductive. Like, what logic is that? And she cannot say anything. Obviously, what else could she say in this situation? She's just out of words. Mime is smiling. And Tasha's like, oh, okay, so we'll leave now. And Tasha's like, I'll take care of the bill. It was my wrong to be, go full out against, to be so rude against like a junior of mine. And later on, Miyuki talks about this, and Miyuki's like, I don't think Kasumi meant any hurt. And he's like, yeah, I know about it. But, I used that argument to prevent her from going on. Yeah. Do you think it's too much? And she said, the way you're not overly gentle towards other girls, I do like it. And he's like, oh, you're a scary woman, aren't you? Okay, anyways, after all of that, we have this guy, Zhojing, I think that's his name. Like I said, I always forget his name. He is talking to Makoto Kudo, that is the son of Retsu. So here they're having this conversation. So he's like, I've come here today to request your assistance. So his request is like, I would like you to consult what my countrymen should do now that they have fled the oppressive rule of the Great Asian Alliance. So he's like, I would like you to take in 3... Okay, wait a minute. What does it say here? Yeah, 3 magicians from the continent. I would like you guys to... They're formidable skills. I would like you guys to take them in. Continent will never let them go without a fight. Yet I'm ill-equipped. All that stuff. He's like, you can help me out with that, please. I was wondering if you could possibly take in this Taoist priest yourself. So yeah, obviously the whole, like I said, like I read, the Yellow Turban Revolution, let me just check it again. There we go. Revolt, main rebellion was suppressed. There we go. Marked an important point in the history of Taoism due to the rebel leaders' association with the then secret Taoist societies. So obviously this is like an actual thing that happened, I guess, but obviously they're like using like magicians and stuff to little bit alter it, I'm guessing, this whole thing. Okay. So Makoto's like, okay, as a rule, when the continent deflect, they reside with the traditionalists, an organization of ancient magic users. And he's like, as a traditionalist, still harbor grudge against the Ninth Institute, So are you guys okay with it? We the Kudo family aren't best of terms with it. So wouldn't that be a problem? And he's like, oh no, obviously not. I'm just looking after my people. Like that's what I'm doing. That's my first and foremost duty. So if you guys would please take them in, and gives him the thing, the roster of the guys, the people that they're going to be taking in. So he looks at it. Okay, where is it? Okay. So the deal has been done. He's like, thank you so much. Leaves, and he looks at the roster. So there's three of them. There's this one guy, and then there's this one girl, two guys, and one girl. Recreation of the Yellow Turban. Okay, so they're Yellow Turban warrior specialists. There you go. It's true that would be desirable assets in terms of further developing the parasite dolls. But he's like, it's too convenient. There must be something going on. Yeah. And he tells like the security chief to like destroy all the data, like so that nobody knows that he came here. And he's like, also keep this a secret from the to all the employees and the head, the predecessor as well, which is his dad, obviously. And he's like, oh, if they try to do something like try to act smart, I'll take care of them. I'll annihilate them. So everything is okay. And then we have the next scene where we have this guy, Nakuta, something like that, the butler or whatever. He talks to Mr. Saibusa, and he's like, oh, this is what is happening. They plan on doing this, trying to make, yeah, they plan on making the gunners go berserk and injure the students. He said that he wouldn't kill them, all that stuff he says. And obviously Saibusa is like, how will they do that? This and that, asks a lot of questions. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. Just let this move forward. No need to mention this to anyone. The parasite doll test will be conducted during the steeplechase cross country event. Okay, so he's like, obviously my two daughters, they are in year 1. They won't be involved in this, so it's fine. And my elder daughter has graduated. And so he's like, so you're saying it's fine as long as your family don't get hurt? And he's like, yeah, obviously, like why should I care about the pains of other families? And it's like the hardliners of the JDF are the one who made the move first. Parasite doll test is Patriarch's ploy to replace magician with combat machines. We know that, that's what he's planning. So what difference would it make if we added another plot or two to his game? And he has this whole, sinister smile. Even if Makoto were to fall into a trap, His Excellency is sure to make the story work. And he has this evil smile, like conniving smile. Right, so there you go. That's what is going on. Like I said, a lot of things are going on actually. It's like kind of complicated. It's like a lot of things going on, like one after the other. Like obviously, like the first thing is obviously like Kudo family, the Kudo family, that is, or Kudo Retsu in particular. He's trying to like introduce these combat, like the parasite dolls, trying to test it. So he's like, let's do this to the steeplechase event. While all of this is happening over there, that guy, that I forgot his name again, like I said, he is, and his master, they're planning on making care, like, kind of manipulating the situation, adding a few yellow turbans in it so that they can make the gynoids go berserk and, injure the students. That is his plan. He came into an alliance with the Saibusas, and Mr. Saibusa's like, it's fine, my daughters are not involved. Let's just see what happens here. This is their problem to deal with. So that's that going on over there. While like over there, Makoto came in contact with that guy as well, and like obviously he's like, oh, these are like a few people, the yellow turbans, can you please take them in? And he's like, okay. Doesn't tell it to Retsu. I feel like if he told it to Retsu, Retsu probably would have, I don't know what he would have done. but I don't know, maybe he should have taken a few steps or something, not really sure. But he's like, oh, don't tell this to the predecessor, and all that stuff. And obviously the military is also involved in this, like they are like, oh, like Kazama will be there stationed, keeping an eye on if something happens. And then the whole thing with the Fujibashi as well, they're like like their family, like our heads are like the daughter and the family head is married, so the Fujibashi might also be involved, they might also be doing something, so you have to keep an eye on that as well. So like all these things, like over complicated. And obviously that's and his group, let's see what they does about this situation and how this goes. So yeah, there you go, that is it. Like I said, I think I understood most of it. If I missed something or if I misunderstood something, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. This was my reaction to this episode number what was this episode? 5, yeah, episode number 5 of Mahouka Koukou no Rettousei season 3. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Mahouka Koukou no Rettousei. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.